So we start with a quick overview. Our park is located in the city, so it's a large garden we can all use. Parks improve the air quality of our cities and are places to be active and play. Whilst parks may seem wild and natural, they're created by architects so people can enjoy them. Last week, we looked at the design of paths and how they help create the character of the park. And you can sort of recap, formal, informal, those ideas. And that we sketched our park design on a site plan with paths and special features. So a quick recap. And then we make the point that landscape architects don't only draw their designs in plan, and that this week we will look at landscape design in section. And you can ask them, what is different about a section compared to a plan? Get a discussion going about that. With these two images, they may start talking about side views versus bird's eye views. And then we'll run through some of the kinds of qualities of a section and what they can show. So a park can be flat, or the ground level can go up and down, and sections can show this. Sections can show tall trees and deep lakes. And then a couple of slides on the character of different types of sections. So a park can be flat and open, like Blackheath in South London, or it can be hilly and heavily planted, like Hampstead Heath, to give them a sense that the different designs in section have different characters. So the ground levels help make the character of the park. It could be flat, expansive and open, or it could be undulating, enclosed and intimate. So I think if last week was about formal and informal, I think we're talking about whether something is expansive and open or intimate and enclosed. And also that sections can show people being active and playing in a landscape. And so London has many parks, like the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, which was created after the London Olympics in 2012. And that section we've been looking at is from the Olympic Park, and the architects thought about ground levels, planting and water. And this is a section through a canal in the Olympic Park. Now, one thing that I've not been explicit about in this is that we're looking at the section in like reasonably close detail where you can show people and things happening. I think all the examples we're going to give them are going to be fairly zoomed in. And so hopefully that will mean that they will be looking at things in quite sort of focused detail rather than trying to draw their whole park in section. And then there's a little video on the Olympic Park design. And the things that I won't play it now, but the things I would highlight from that video, that they made the River Lee, they constructed like a riverbanks. They changed the sort of landscape. They made it sort of hilly with this kind of canal river, and they kind of changed the ground levels in order to make the character of the park.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think Tia is waiting for you to come in. Yeah. Sorry.
Hi, Tia. Just waiting for it to connect. Hi, Tia, can you hear me?
Good morning.
Hi, Tia, how you doing?
Thanks.
Is it all right if I quickly just zoom through for Tia again where we are?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, just to summarize, the workshops this week are a bit of a transitional because it's Abby's last week, sadly. And so we're going to be fast tracking Sanyat to a workshop leader position. Mm-hmm. So today it's going to be yourself, Abby and Sanyat. Tomorrow it's going to be Sanyat and myself. And Wednesday it's going to be Abby, Sanyat and Emma. Okay. The material for today is going to be under your name in the reception. Mm-hmm. I will. I've just started going through the presentation. I think to just for this sorry, I'm going to just quickly run through with Tia. Sorry, guys, just to just get her up to speed on the presentation. So basically today's about park design in section. Very quick recap of where we were last week about parks, and that last week we looked at path design and how they create the character of the park, that we worked on a site plan, but that landscape architects don't only draw in plan, they draw also in section. We asked them what the difference between a section and a plan is to get the discussion going. We then run through the qualities of sectional drawing, how they can show flat or undulating landscapes going up and down. So they show the ground level. They can show tall trees, deep lakes. We'll can explain how different types of section can create different characters. So flat and open landscapes, or hilly planted landscapes, and that you can have landscapes that are very enclosed and intimate, or landscapes that are very expansive and open. And that sections can show people in elevation, you know, enjoying being active in the park. And this is where I got to with the rest of the group. So the case study for this week to show how landscape architects think about the section of the park is the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in Stratford, completed after 2012. And that section that we were using as an example is from that park, and that it shows that the landscape architects were thinking about ground levels, planting, water. And then there's a video of about 5 minutes, and it's about the design of the park. And the thing that I would, I think that I would maybe highlight, obviously ask them what they think of the video at the end of it and what ideas they'd use, is that they created a river canal within the park by sort of changing the levels and making an embankment, and that there's they sculpted the landscape, if you like, and the ground levels. So the first task is to draw the section of an existing park, and there are going to be 3 handouts which should be in the envelope that they're going to copy. So similar to last week where they copied different path designs, this week they're going to copy different sections. And all the sections are fairly zoomed in. They're not necessarily of a whole park. They can show people, they can show things that activities and equipment and things. So the first one is the one we've been looking at, a section through the Olympic Park, which they'll have seen a video of. It shows hilly ground, trees, canal, boats, people. The second example they can choose to copy is of a riverside park in Erith. It's got playgrounds, it's got climbing walls, trees, people. So hopefully things they'll enjoy sort of sketching. And the third one is Pears Park by Up Architecture, sort of this steps park. And what's nice about this is that it shows what how the relationship is between the height of the ground and views you can get, as well as I think sort of archaeology and stuff. So it's a bit more playful, this one, a bit more unusual, but they may enjoy drawing it. And there's a waterway as well. So it's a 10-minute task to copy one of these. Pencils down, make sure you fill in all the things on the title block. And then the second task is to draw your own park design and section. And so stress that this is a side view of your design. If last week was a bird's eye view, this is a side view. Start with the ground level. Imagine slicing through your park like a cake and draw the ground with a thick line. Take inspiration from your first task. Use your imagination. And the line of the ground should run from one side of the page to the other and near the bottom of the page to leave room above it to draw your park. And think about whether your ground will be flat, hilly, will you have like lakes, canals? I mean, some of them have already started to think about these things in their site plan. And then above the ground line to draw the design and elevation. So an elevation, again, is a view of your design from the side. Draw above the line of the ground. What will you show? Trees, plants, equipment for playing sports, people being active, etc. use color and shade to show sky, grass, plants, benches, materials. And remember to show everything you want above the ground line. And that's the sort of 15-minute task.